Welcome to Reaching Out. My name is Gregory Floyd, President Local 237 Teamsters. Joining us for this segment is the newly appointed chair of the New York City Housing Authority, Shola Olatoye. Thank you for joining us on the show.
My pleasure, Greg. Thank you for the invitation to speak with you this morning and your members. You all have been, the Teamsters have been an incredible support to NYCHA, in particular over the last year, as we've worked to reduce our work orders and really focus on the core business of providing quality, affordable housing to New Yorkers. My grandmother lived in public housing here in New York City.
Oh, really?
Novelist Scott, who was a domestic her whole life, lived in Albany houses in Brooklyn.
Sure.
And, you know, that apartment in an inexpensive and modest home that it was an anchor for our very large and extended family. And I think that is what it has been for many families across the city. And it was clean, it was safe, and that is what people want. I was in the Bronx at Throxneck Houses 2 weeks ago, and an 81-year-old resident who lived there for more than 50 years said, "We just want clean and safe." And so that is the mission of the New York City Housing Authority, and that's what we need with you and your members, and is what our task is before us.
That's a nice slogan, clean and safe.
Clean and safe.
Yes.
It's pretty straightforward.
Now, the Daily News has had a series of articles for about the last, I would say, 14 months on the backlog of the repairs in the New York City Housing Authority. And I know that was one of your priorities coming in, and it was very challenging. What have you found out, and what progress have we made since your appointment?
Right. Well, I'm pleased to say that a lot of progress had already been underway prior to me joining. And since my official start at the Housing Authority on March 3rd, we have, the three things that I've been almost maniacally focused on are: one, resetting relationships with those core stakeholders, namely our residents and our employees, or I call them team members. And then the second has been focusing on our core business. We are the city's largest private landlord. 1 in 10 New Yorkers are touched by the New York City Housing Authority. And so the notion that at some point we can have more than 430,000 open work orders and not have any clear sense of the status of those, to me, is inexcusable. And so I'm pleased to say, under the leadership of our executive staff, we've gotten that number down to, I think this morning's numbers were about 78,000. And we've done that, though, not only through the hard work of your members, who have been instrumental in helping us reduce the work order backlog. We've done it with the leadership and support of this mayor. When he took office, one of his first actions was to provide a reprieve to us of our annual police payments. And so he allowed us to not pay $52 million to NYPD. And we were able to dedicate $40 million of those dollars to closing work orders, the remaining dollars to the purchase of appliances, and then $4 million to set up an independent assessment unit to ensure not only that the work got done, but it got done in the time frame that we had stated, and that the work was done according to quality. And so we're so grateful for that investment in us by this mayor, and the hard work of your members to help us get those numbers down. We have some more work to do. I'll be totally candid. We have about 24,000 vendor tickets, which are those, shall we say, harder assignments to take on, where they require pretty extensive plastering, plumbing, painting. And so that is the focus of the team for the next 12 weeks. We need to have that done before the end of the summer, so that we can report back to the mayor and really to the city and to our residents that we kept our promise and that we took those resources and spent them well.
That's a mounting task, but I'm sure you're up to it because you have a plan in place. You have the people there to do it, and you're moving forward. And now you have the resources, the money, the dollars. We have about a half a minute left, and we look forward to working with you. But do you have a special message for our members working in the New York City Housing Authority?
Well, first of all, I think NYCHA, the New York City Housing Authority, is asset rich. And I will say that we are asset rich in our people, both our residents and our team members. And the work that is before us, which is clean and safe, is only going to happen if the 11,200 people wake up every day, many of whom this is exactly what they do, and commit to doing their job in a way that allows us to ensure that people have safe and quality homes. I think recognizing that this is a 24/7 operation, we're not a 9-to-5 operation, and that we need the ability to ensure that people have safe and quality homes. I know that people are committed to ensuring that that is something that every resident of New York City Housing can attest to. So I thank you for the invitation here today, and I look forward to meeting many more of your members as I get to visit all of our developments. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on. You were listening to Reaching Out. This segment, we had the newly appointed chairwoman of the New York City Housing Authority, Shola Olatoye. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Greg.
Okay.
Thank you.